What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to JWE Screenshots. We are going to be doing our second part of our video for our Let's Explore series of the Buckland-Mantell Paleontological Reserve. This is going to be quite a long video, but I'm very excited to see what the rest of the park holds. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get right into it. So we ended the last video going through this archway here. This is Jurassic Giants on it. It's a very beautiful archway. Now, in this part of the park, we have two ways that we can go. Let's head over to this way. Oh, it looks like we got Torvosaurus in this habitat over here. Now, these guys are severely underrated in my opinion. I feel like they are very cool for carnivores, and not a lot of people know about them. But they are definitely one of the cooler carnivores, and in this game alone, their skins are also pretty fantastic. So, all right, we're gonna head back around next to the sauropod skywalk. So it looks like we can go this way towards their main habitat, or we can go this way, which I'm guessing takes us on to the skywalk. Alright, we're going to make our way up to the top of this area up here. And just like the first part of the video, there was an elevated walkway in one of the other habitats. I believed it was called the boardwalk, but this one's a little bit different, a little bit more above their heads, I guess you could say. Very, very high up in the air compared to the other one that we saw. Now, in this habitat, we got Camarasaurus. We got what appears to be Apatosaurus, I think that's what it is. Dryosaurus, and then Brachiosaurus as well. Not sure about any of the others. But this is their little den area where they go in to sleep at night. Or during the day, whenever they feel like taking a snooze. From the rock waterfall to all of the vegetation to all the intricacy and the planning out of everything. I mean, it's just so cool. Now we got our Brachiosaurus is in here. I'm a huge fan of the design of these guys in this game. I think they nailed every design in my opinion, but this one, just because it holds such a special place in so many people's hearts, I feel like it's important to do the dinosaurs that people love justice, especially, you know, big ones like the Brachiosaurus right there. That is so cool, just watching them come underneath like that. The Dryosaurus just kind of is a little bit of a filler animal. I always like to, in my habitats, oh, look at that little dancy one on the rock. They're both dancing. Now, I think it's incredibly important when you are building any dinosaur exhibit on any dinosaur park building video game like this one or Jurassic World Evolution, that you're adding a couple smaller herbivores into your environment. I think that adds a lot of realism. Oh, he just took a tumble and a little jump. I love the animations. They're crazy. They add so much realism, and they add, you know, that extra layer of diversity that I think exhibits need. So if you're struggling, if you feel like your exhibits are just plain, or your habitats are plain and they don't look, you know, as cool as they could, you know, there's just one species of animal moving around, one species of dinosaur, try adding in a smaller species of dinosaur. They usually are compatible with every other species because they just mind their own business and they hang out in a herd, as these guys are doing right here. And I think it adds a lot to habitats. So don't forget about the little guys. Just because the big guys are cool, don't forget about the little guys. Alright, well, we saw what we needed to see up there, so we're going to go ahead and make our way back. And if I had to guess, this is going to bring us on the opposite side of the habitat. So we can see from the glass side, or from the guest perspective. Now, this is just another angle of the guest point of view over on this side. And as you can see, there's a lot going on here. My friend is eating an imaginary tree, or was eating an imaginary tree. Looks like these guys are taking off. They've had enough. Completely understandable. Yes, take that imaginary selfie. Take that imaginary photo. Take that mental photo, that mental selfie. And he is very pleased. I would be too. Look at them look at each other. Yes. Alright, well, it looks like we can go ahead and move on from that habitat and go see what the rest of the park holds. Now, we got Bronto Burger over here. And if we want to see the rest of them, we need to go this way. Looks like Spinosaurus and Iguanodon, Dilophosaurus, Tyrannosaurus. I'm not sure what the other ones are, but we'll figure it out. Now here's the Torvosaurus area again. Then we're gonna keep walking. This is supposed to be home to Stegosaurus when it comes into the game. Hey, developers of Prehistoric Kingdom, I know you guys got a Stegosaurus model sitting out there somewhere. We need it in the game. We need the Stegosaur in the game very badly. You'd make a lot of people very happy if we were able to sneak in a certain dinosaur into your game. However, if it's you know, hung up because of logistics, I completely understand. Take your time with it. Make it a great addition. That's what's really important going forward. Now we got the Dilophosaurs over here. This is a very, very cool model and design. I think they knocked this species specifically out of the park when it comes to the design. Because people think, you know, the Dilophosaurus is like the Jurassic Park one. Most people understand now that there isn't a frill related to them. In the real grand scheme of things, there was no Dilophosaurus with a frill on it. Looks like these guys are doing a little mating dance. I hope that they are able to get the job done. But you know that most people don't know that Dilophosaurus was actually larger than how it appears to be in the Jurassic Park movies. That is considered a juvenile, and maybe even a little bit less than a juvenile. I think that people, you know, seem to forget that they were actually decent sized, and they were also very cool, and probably pretty ferocious too. They have a very nice habitats themed to the desert. Suits them pretty well. Yeah, so as I mentioned, the Stegosaurus Steakhouse, I'm guessing, will be part of the Stegosaurus habitat. You know, when the Stegosaur drops for Prehistoric Kingdom. Is that fan-made, or is that made by the developers? Because that's really good. Maybe that's a hint of what the Stegosaurus is going to look like. I mean, I know that they're going to knock it out of the park, and I cannot wait to see the plate designs on the Stegosaurus themselves. I feel like they're going to be... There might be a couple that are kind of dull, but I feel like one of the skins is going to have some crazy, you know, plate design. How cool would it be if they could make it so that it's during breeding season, the plate fills up with blood, so that it looks like a, you know, a court. It is part of their courtship. But how cool would it be if, like, you know, visually we got to see that too, that their plates filled up with blood. And same with Triceratops too, if their frills filled up with blood during breeding season, to show off, you know, how beautiful their crest designs were. I think that would be a really cool addition to the game. Might be impossible, but cool nevertheless. Alright, so this looks like a backstage area back here. Now, this person who has made this map has everything laid out, I mean, so strategically. So they've got your, you know, back of house things, back of house, and they've got everything that you want to see in the front. They've got gates that every one of the staff can use to get to and from places with ease, and they just really got a really awesome, logistically planned out park. Another look at the future Stegosaurus habitat. It's going to be awesome. I really love how the workers in this game are just kind of walking around doing their everyday thing, hauling boxes, hauling cargo, a wheelbarrow, whatever it might be, as they go to and from places, depending on what their role in the park is. It's very thought out, very creative. And then you just got your keepers, you know, walking around waiting for something to do. Oh my goodness, this is very cool. Alright, so we got African predators this way. Tyrannosaurus, Carcharodontosaurus, I think, and Spinosaurus. Let's take a look at it. So I don't know if there's anything in here. I just feel like someone's gonna pop out at me. I think everything's over here. What do we got? Ooh, this is a Spino. It is definitely huge. The habitat is huge. Like, I don't even... Oh, there they are. They're swimming. This habitat also, you know, shows the paleobotany that was added into the game. Just look at all the different foliage types. There's just so much going on. There's so much life there, which was a huge part of a lot of the, you know, prehistoric past. They did a great job with it. Alright, I love you, Spino, but we gotta keep moving. That's terrifying. Those are freaky. I hate those things. I know that I think they're going to be in the game at some point as like some sort of addition. I don't know if it's going to be in the exhibits, so the small little, you know, square exhibits, or if they're going to actually be able to crawl around with the dinosaurs. I think I would never. I don't like them. Sorry, it's just me. I think they're meant to give that, you know, that idea. They're just not fun to look at, and they freak me out. But very important to the history of evolution nonetheless. I'm not going to disregard that fact. They're very important to the history of evolution. Whatever those creepy crawly things are, they are important. The fossil, is this like an upscale dining restaurant? Oh my goodness. What is up? And we got a full service bar. I'm about to belly up. Oh, this is beautiful. This is so cool. Are you kidding me? Got a T-Rex hanging from the ceiling. Super casual. Bathrooms. Why, yes, you may come in and sit down. A little lounge area. Wow. They really went all out with this part. I mean, to put all of this together like that, that's incredible. As I mentioned in another video, I just know that there's Planet Zoo and Planet Coaster players out there that are dying to get their hands on this game and that haven't yet. And I need to see what you build with it. I need to see your creations. So if you're a Planet Coaster, Planet Zoo builder, and you know how to build with Frontiers tools, you will know how to build with these tools. It will come very naturally to you, I promise. And we got to get you recruited onto the Prehistoric Kingdom team. Alright, we're back in the Spinosaurus area again. I wonder what happens if we go this way. So we just came from the Fossil, which is an upscale restaurant. I feel like this is going to take me back around to the front of the park, if I had to guess. Here's a nice little bathroom. Kind of a little plaza. Okay, no, we got new things over here. This is so cool and well put together. Okay, I'm sorry, I gotta look in here. Archaeopteryx. I kind of thought that's what might be in here. What's up, Tweety birds? Now, I do believe the next update for Prehistoric Kingdom is going to feature more of these types of dinosaurs. More of these exhibit-like dinosaurs where you can kind of... or they're on a scripted animation. They're very small. And they kind of, run around their habitat like this one up in the corner is doing. And they do it in a way that looks natural. It's not going to look like extremely dynamic. But I still think it looks good. They're flying around. They're landing on the ground. It's in a way that's randomized. And I think that's probably the best way to do it, in my opinion. But a very nice and well thought out habitat for them. Okay, so we keep on moving. This looks like a future baryonyx habitat. Very cool. I do believe we also need more Spinosaurids in this game, so whenever they make their way in, I will be greatly appreciative, and I think other people will as well. Just another view. Oh, there's a... See, y'all, the Scaledosaurus, I think that's how you pronounce it, and Iguanodon, of course. They're into this, or this sectioned off part. Got a nice little family atmosphere going on there. The herding in this game is just so cool. Look at them just hanging out. Taking a nibble from the top of their plants. Like I said, you can see one is grazing from the bottom, and then that one's grazing from the top. They can kind of decide where they want to graze from the bottom of the the forest floor or from the top of the small little bushes and trees, and that just adds that extra layer of realism that even Jurassic World Evolution 2 doesn't have. They don't even have grazing in the game, and I think I mentioned that in another video. Ooh, it looks like this habitat must wrap around. Do a little wrap around. Wrap around. These guys are very cute. I'm not really sure what their purpose in life is, other than being armored and maybe a little grumpy. I feel like they'd be grumpy if they were dinosaurs. Like, they just wouldn't be nice. Like, as a former zookeeper and animal trainer myself, I feel like this is going to be the one dinosaur you don't want to mess with. Like, it's not the T-Rex. It's not, yeah, I know. It's not the T-Rex. It's not, those dinosaurs that can mind their own business. But these guys right here, they will mess you up. There's always that one unspoken one. For me, it was penguins. Penguins messed me up. I have scars all over my body from them, simply for walking in front of them when they didn't want me to. And that's okay. They can bite me. But the scars are real. I have plenty of scars from keeping penguins at my last job. But I managed to go around in circles a couple times. But I figured it out. This is the Carcharodontosaurus habitat, and they are currently taking a good old nap, as dinosaurs do. I really like how, you know, the rock structure is their den. It seems to be the case for a lot of these habitats. The rock structures are their dens. And I also love how the dinosaurs actually use their dens. You know, they use these places to sleep. And I know it's because they have the hay beds and, you know, animations and rigging and coding and everything. They probably prefer or will prefer that over time. But as I said, the realism, it helps with everything. Another part of the Spinosaur habitat. I'm telling you, it's huge. You cannot go that way. At least they're smart enough to go back down. That's pretty impressive. Alright, we are at the Ouranosaurus habitat. We got babies in here. These are also underrated in my opinion. A very underrated hadrosaur. Everything in this park is split into sections. There appears to be, you know, the African section with African predators, and then the Jurassic Giants section, the Wessex Mountains. So everything's kind of split up into different areas like a zoo would be. Looks like we got another restaurant over there. That's awesome. Alright, this way is another, what appears to be maintenance area. But back this way, we have another restaurant, buffet style. We even got some outdoor seating. It's themed very well to this area. I definitely would eat here if I was at the zoo. And a cool little fossil display next to this gift shop. Looks like there's a place that you can either view fossils or buy them. Hopefully they're not from dinosaurs that were at the park. Okay, so we're coming into some new territory here. I don't know if this is stuff that we've already seen or if this is all brand new. Alright, so we've seen Hell Creek. We've seen Spinosaurus. We've seen all the long necks. And yes, I did just call them long necks. We saw those guys in the first video. I think we've seen everything that there is to see. Alright, you guys, I hope you had a great time hanging out with me on this Let's Explore video. As we do more of these, I hope they get a little bit better, a little bit more cohesive. That's the whole idea. And hopefully my mic will work every single time. But I have so much fun with these videos. Nobody really on YouTube does these kinds of videos for this game, and I think it's these kinds of videos that are going to show people what this game is capable of. You know, I can do all of the documentary style, music video style videos that I want, and I definitely love doing those, but I think it's also important for people to see this, that this is exactly what the game is supposed to be, and they do a really good job at it, and I think that it deserves a chance. And yeah, if you pick up this game, drop me a comment, let me know what you think about it. If you ever have any questions about what you're doing or how to play, or if you want me to take a look at something, please send me a message on any of my socials. I'd be happy to help you figure out how to play and how to get involved with this amazing community. So yeah, we'll see you next time. Thank you guys so much.